Hey, CEO.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good, thank you.
Please introduce yourself and tell us why you're here.
I'm Siyabonga Hlongwane, acting CEO in Constitution Hill. Look, we are here because we promoting this Gauteng Investment Conference. We are quite excited about it. I think it's going to create a lot of opportunities amongst the tourism and the creative sector.
I've also seen that you've also positioned the Constitutional Hill as a tourist attraction. Am I correct?
Correct. It is actually the global beacon for human rights, but we are saying it's a gateway into exploring Gauteng, and not just Johannesburg alone, as much as we are situated there, but it's just a gateway to explore the rest of Gauteng.
What are you doing to attract tourists into Joburg through the Constitutional Hill?
We've got a number of programs that we are running there. The offerings of Conhill, the story that we are telling there, it's one of the unique within the tourism sector. But beyond that, we also do signature events, like we just had human rights last week. It was a good turnout.
And there's that one that you also do towards the end of the year, the big one.
We used to do it with the Afro Park. We want to bring that back. Thanks for that.
Yes, because that used to be big.
Yes, it was quite big. It was a good success. We want to revamp and bring it back. But in June also we do one what we call Basha Uhuru. It has a good.
What is it called?
Basha Uhuru.
Oh yes, I saw it last year. It was to do with youth.
Yes, it has a good energy. We've got the youth. It runs with a lot of good dialogues, meaningful dialogues, and we engage with the youth, and we close it with a very good bang of the music.
Yes, I noticed that last year. Yeah. And what's your contribution to the investment conference here?
Here we first demonstrated what we are doing with our creatives. We've got a creatives program that we are doing in Constitution Hill. We're hosting variety of the creatives in that space. Those that are in the clothing, fashion, some are in the filming, some are in the music. Then we brought them here to come exhibit and demonstrate their products.
Oh, those ones that are outside?
Yes, the ones that are down there.
I was a bit jealous when I saw them and I said, if I was young, I would have been here. Well done on that.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
And the message to all the investors that would like to invest in Gauteng, what would you say to them?
I hope they have enjoyed this conference that we had, and we're looking forward, of course, for more pledges. I'm excited that we've exceeded the target that we've set for up to year end, but I think the total target over the 5 years is about 800 billion. So let them come forward, and whatever that they will be interested in making business with us. We were looking forward in them maybe engaging with us, government, and in making more pledges where possible.
Thank you, CEO, for talking to us. Any last messages?
People out there, we love you. Come visit Conhill. There is a lot that it actually offers. And we are trying to receive as many of the tourists. And you will be amazed when you come to Conhill. We also want to introduce some new tour experience where it's going to be run by the celebrities. I just actually want to challenge you to come do one tour. You will be the tour guide for our special guests.
When can I do that?
Let's talk more.
Okay. Thank you, CEO. Thanks a lot. Why do you always look so good?
And yeah, I love dress. I think I love clothes, bro. Like literally, I love it because when I was growing up, it was the only currency.
You know,
I'm only looker. So I find
that's a good one, because ever since I've known you, you've been a smart dresser.
I mean, thank you.
Zakes, you've toured around the world.
Yes.
You've won awards. You've made hits, and Here you are at the Gauteng Investment Conference. Why are you here?
I think I was invited by the CEO of Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. I don't know. Well, I know him. I think he knows. I know Saki. So I think of very conversation I've had with him around the issue of art and the creative industry, and obviously challenging him also. I think the team, then they invited me and said I should perhaps come and have all those particular solutions and complaints in a platform like this, so that in front of the MEC and HOD. Yeah, so.
I was listening to you and I was so proud of the inputs that you made in that breakaway room session where we were discussing the tourism and the creatives. Why do you think it's important for South Africa to be on the map?
Man, I think we are the only country in Africa that is a bit comfortable for anybody in the globe, who is not from Africa. I mean, when you're in Africa, when you're in South Africa, more or less, I mean, the infrastructure is correct. The roads here, well, we may have issues, but I mean, you have roads, you have infrastructure, you have electricity, you have all of those. You will have all of those infrastructure that I'm talking about. Whereas maybe other African countries, they are quite like a challenge when it comes to that. So any company, they will have headquarters in Africa, in South Africa, when they are coming to Africa. So this will be their first destination. Then they will set up here. Then they will start going to maybe Nigeria, Ghana, in other countries. But this is South Africa. We are already at the stage where we should be attracting people like that, and we should be people who should be actually telling telling the globe about who we are in Africa as a whole. I mean, we are actually carrying the barrier for Africans. Yeah.
What do we need to do as an industry to make the private sector understand what we are capable of? Because there's big funders out there. I see them funding rugby. I see them funding other things, but I still feel they could do better with music.
Yeah, man. I think it's just a big challenge, Arthur. And I think one of the most challenging things, the fact that some of these challenges come from the fact that they don't understand our industry. They don't understand our industry, and our industry has had a very bad, or I would say bad
image,
publicity. It's like we are irresponsible, we die paupers, people contribute when we die, and all of those, so we can't handle money. So more or less it's seen as an industry, which is not an industry. It's really, we're calling it an industry.
But they see it as a hobby.
But they just see it as a hobby. But also the challenging thing, the challenging thing is the fact that they are able to come in and sponsor a Zakes, but they will not sponsor the Summers. So they can wait. When Arthur pops up, then they come for Arthur.
You know what's the funniest thing? Yeah. I nearly said, but when it comes to adverts, they still use our music. Yeah. They still use the faces. Yes. But when it comes,
but not the industry. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, they will come and just contribute to just Arthur. So they will give you an ambassadorship and all of those things. But comes the Summers, you say, hey, sponsor the Summers. No, they are not there. When they have to play in culture. So, but I think like brands needs to start playing in culture. When you are playing in culture, you can't play with just one person. You need to immerse yourself around the culture. You need to understand what the culture is, and you need to contribute towards the culture and grow in the culture. And I think that's what actually brands need. And brands that are going to succeed now, moving forward, are brands who are playing in culture. That's why TikTok is winning. It's winning because it's playing in the culture, is there. All these other social media are not winning as much as TikTok, because TikTok is in culture. It's paying content creators. It allows you to be you. It's there when you need it. It's going with you, So therefore, you're like, hey, actually, I can identify, I can see myself in this platform. So that's why everybody, doesn't mind to be bare on TikTok, because they feel like, because TikTok has been a social media that says, I want to play in culture. And I think brands that are going to win now, moving forward, are brands that are going to play in culture, not brands that are going to come in and go out. The brand that I want to shout out, I've never been paid. I don't have an ambassador with, I've never been paid through that particular, but none. It's Hunters.
You know what's funny? I was about to say, As much as we are criticizing them, I feel like the alcoholic brands have got it right.
Hunters, my brother. Hunters, I think we owe it as the industry to say thank you to Hunters. Hunters held us down during COVID. It was the only brand that was paying artists through house part lockdown that Chins was doing. They were paying artists for that stream on Channel every week. When artists weren't working, but Hunters were not selling alcohol, they were paying from selling, but they spend money, and I think they deserve a shout out.
Hence, I was saying to you that it's funny that as much as we are criticizing a lot of people for not understanding our culture, but the alcoholic brands have got it right.
They have. Most alcoholic brands, they can do more. They can do way better, But they have. I think alcoholic brands have played in culture. They are part of the culture. But I think they can do more. More collaborative conversation needs to happen, and also more plenary session needs to happen when you don't have to invite Arthur or Zex at the tail end, man. Invite them early when we still want to think of, hey, I want to have this national campaign, or I want to have this national activation, and this is how many bottles, or this is how many whatever that you wanna sell, and this is how we want to invite Arthur at that level, because Arthur then will tell you and say, but also wait, we don't do that, right there and then say no, but this is what is happening. Actually, there's this thing that is, so once brands are able to have plenary sessions with the creative industry or creative people or artists themselves, I think the sky is the limit, man.
The message to the government, more especially here at the investment conference, how can they participate in our industry?
First and foremost, shout out to Gauteng development, shout out to Gauteng government. Shout out to Gauteng government for putting such an...
It's so great to hear somebody from KZN saying that. Can you repeat it?
No, shout out to Gauteng government. Really shout out.
Zex just said, shout out to the Gauteng province. MEC, you must be smiling wherever you are.
No, shout out. I mean, I haven't seen something, and I think this needs to happen in KwaZulu-Natal as well. I'm gonna tell them about this. I'm like, yo, you should see what Gauteng is doing. You should do this for KZN. Shout out to them, and I think the government, they've started at them, because we have to give credit when it's due. Yeah. They've started now. They've said, come, let us hear what you guys have to say. This is a step in the right direction, because I'm sure next year, that's I'll call it a syndicate. It was a syndicate group for me. Yeah. It was packed. It was packed. People couldn't even walk in because there's interest, and I'm sure the MEC and the government, they've seen actually there's interest in the creative industry and tourism, and also to pair us with tourism. It says to me they can see that we need each other.
You know what I loved about what I saw today? The MECs, the ministers, and the deputy president all participated. I mean, where last were you in a breakaway session where you're sitting and addressing the MEC?
Yeah, and an HOD. I mean, it doesn't happen. Hence, that's why I was saying we need to take this to KwaZulu-Natal. KZN and Gauteng are cousins. 5 hours drive, 1 hour. I'm my cousins now.
Yeah, no, but you're right. Yeah. Thanks to all the business people that have missed an opportunity to come to the Gauteng Investment Conference.
I think I would say next year, just make sure, first and foremost, I think the Gauteng government needs to go to a bigger venue.
We're all complaining about that the venue is too small.
Yeah, it needs to go to a because there's an interest. Most people now are entrepreneurs, are no longer employees. No, I think you should come here. You should just make sure that you come here. Go to the Gauteng government website and check when are they going to do a Gauteng Investment Conference. You should come here. I think it's one of the most strategic event that you need to. It's worth the investment. So wherever you are, just make sure that next year you come.
Now we are about to talk to the Chief Director Wako Economic Development, Ntate Khwiti. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself, sir?
Fine, and you?
All good.
I'm enjoying myself, you see?
Have you pledged?
Yeah. How much?
Give us 10 billion, I think that would be good. As a start, so that we can grow the creative and cultural sector. As you heard that the MEC said, that's one of the sectors that we are earmarking for growth after this investment conference.
Wow, guys, did you hear that? I'm being asked to pledge 10 billion. I don't even have 10 billion, but that's what this investment conference is about.
That growth is going to come through investments. So we brought people here, sanitation, electricity. So we would then put that investment to allow somebody to then put up a factory. Shorter for things to happen.
Why was it important to have the Premier, to have ministers, to have MECs, to have MMCs, and also the Deputy President?
It's important. But as I said, the work is before and after. These are our partners that we work with. We have a partnership with GTIC at Invest SA where we deal with investors. The municipalities also there. So it was really for people to see and get a sense and also bring everyone into the room to actively, not just today, but into the future, because now these investors will live with a direct contact from someone's office on who's going to resolve a problem.
Would you say Gauteng's #1 spot as the economic hub?
Places around here are getting tourists that are coming into the event. Some of them will visit different places. They will go to townships because they want to see different experiences in South Africa. But over and above it, we had a market yesterday, which is continuing to today, where we have small businesses that are selling stuff. Those are people who would ordinarily not have had access to this. Are participating in the World Economic Forum and also other events because now there's a new party in the GNU. Ultimately, all of them want economic growth. So for as long as the initiatives are aimed at something positive for the economy, we're not worried about the political changes. Of course, I'm doing, and this is the support I need from government.
15 years ago, I mean, we then advised at that time the Minister of Arts and Culture to say, arts and culture is not doesn't belong to the social cluster. It must belong to the economic cluster, and hence the strategy was crafted of Mzansi Golden Economy to say, this is a business. The creative economy, the creative business is a business. And at the time, people didn't really understand it. But now, as I said, people are spending the COVID. They understand that arts and culture or cultural capital drives the world today. And, people are making a good living out of it. And it's about time that, we shift policy and we really embrace this sector as one of the economic drivers.
What's your role here as the Joburg Film Festival?
I was invited to come and share, the knowledge and my experience in terms of the cultural economy or the creative industries. And today I just input a great panel with Gauteng Tourism, with the lady from Netflix, Shona, and obviously Zix Bantwini. And we just shared our stories and our knowledge and experience in terms of how we can shape and hone the South African creative industry, and most particularly the Gauteng creative sector, and also the Joburg creative sector.
Dumelang Mayor.
Dumelang Tata Mafokate.
How are you, Mayor?
No, I'm great.
Such a beautiful event.
Yeah, it is. And I think the province together with likely to get there, we're likely to create jobs, we're likely to create infrastructure, which is one of our key problems we're facing in Johannesburg. It's important that the politics, let diplomats, and those that are economic opportunities. It means investment into infrastructure, and it therefore means those companies, engineering companies, consultants, all of them stands to benefit. So that's what we're focusing on.
For the businesses in the city of Joburg, what would be your message to them? Because I'm sure a lot of them would have loved to be here.
Johannesburg, Gauteng is a place to stay, invest. Those that missed the conference, there's a lot of initiatives that provincial government and municipalities are taking. Take advantage of the engagements and public discourse that we're putting out there, because they stand to benefit as businesses in South Africa. And we've made a commitment that South African businesses must be grown to an extent at which we can create multilateral companies coming out of South Africa. And I think that's the future vision that all of us should be focused on.
We're still here at the Spaza Shop Support Fund, and I'm standing next to Mr. How are you?
Well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Do you also have a Spaza Shop?
No, I have a big business, but I had a small business that became a big business. So I think Spaza shops from small businesses have to be work very well so they can become a big business. So it's all about development and growth.
I know you are also part of TEXA. I know Biggie Twala, the chairperson of TEXA, and you know, I'm looking at the audience, I'm saying, hey, Mr. Joste, what does he want here? Does he want a Spaza Shop or what? Do you have a Spaza Shop in the township? Tell us why you're here.
Now, I'm not here for having a Spaza Shop. I want to assist TEXA with empowering the entrepreneurs, because in my humble opinion, we worked for many years. Entrepreneurs don't make money. Business people make money. So an entrepreneur has a good idea and they want to try and get a product to market. We need to give them the skills to become business people, so that's when business makes money. So I think the empowerment that Minister Parks-Tau spoke about is about development and training, and I think that's critical. It's easy to get money. 50,000 Rand, 300,000 Rand, that's easy. Making that work, that's where the skill comes of a business person, not necessarily an entrepreneur. So you need to move from entrepreneurship to a business person.
How would you differentiate between an entrepreneur and a businessman?
Well, entrepreneurs are the guys that are looking with ideas, and they want to try and get access to market, and they want to collaborate with other businesses to get the idea into a market. That's the first phase of a business, is getting an idea. Then you get a product, and then you start making money. So entrepreneurs often spend too much time looking at fancy ideas, but never drill it down to making money. And I think that's when you have to move across from an ideas person into an operator, and having the discipline, having the financial controls, having the accountability to market. All those things come into business leadership rather than entrepreneurship. So that is part of a training that I believe that the minister should be engaging in, is how helping an entrepreneur become a business person.
I like that. Is it desktop based or what is it?
At the moment we have it in a blended approach. We have classroom and we also have blended approach, and we are building apps, because I think apps is the way to go, because you're dealing with Gen Zs in a sense, under 27-year-old, and they don't really operate well within classrooms. They've been at school for 12 years and we want them to be more current. So we are building those apps where we can spread information cheaply, that is effective, and to make sure that everything has become successful.
Here am I standing next to Honorable Muzi from the MK Party. Sawubona Honorable. Ngiyabona ukuthi sebakufundisela malona so respecta kakhulu manje uyangithusa manje Honorable unjani?
No, it's always been the case. It's just that manje we come with a title, but a title means responsibility, nothing else.
You've always been a street boy from Soweto and you haven't changed. I can see you are an honorable MP representing the MK in Parliament, and I can see your dress code is still the dress code that I've always known.
Yeah, when we did an affirmation in Parliament, it was a commitment to serve, not to change your outlook, but to say, how do you continue to live with the people, and you must look like them because you are them outside of your deployment in the National Assembly.
But you can take me out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of me.
Yeah, in terms of their looks, but in terms of policy, in fact, the ghetto will be a better place through MKP policies. Yeah.
We've just listened to the Minister of the Small Business and Development, and we are still here at the Spaza Shop Support Fund. And what's your take on it as an MK MP?
Well, it's long overdue. Considering how the budget has been passed throughout the years. The government of the ANC budget is always focused on education and social spending, not on productive sectors and industrialization. And that would have been a stimulus to the economy to create jobs, but also transform Spaza shops to serious industries where they can also harness opportunities in the value chain at agro-processing, distribution, marketing, and many others. So I think it is an important one. But through us, on our oversight responsibility, we will make sure that the rands and cents goes to the right people, the deserving, vulnerable, with the spirit to create jobs. And most resilient people will make it a point that the money is not lost anywhere and anyhow.
I was about to ask you the very same thing, that as the MK, what is it that you're going to do to make sure that these funds are distributed accordingly?
We have a program that will launch. MK will be setting up tables, registering people to make it a point that they benefit from government resources. We need to ensure that these are not party funds. These are not to give the ANC political mileage in their campaign towards local government elections. These are funds of the people. People must benefit from these things, and make it a point that MK runs with that project.
But overall, you can say the MK is happy with the Spaza Shop Support Fund.
Well, it's a good initiative, as much as we are not happy with the registration of PASA owners. We even written a letter to the minister requesting an extension, because foreigners received more support and preference over our own people. But of course, we are here now. The fund is a good initiative, but it has to serve the purpose of what the funds are budgeted for and voted for.
We do appreciate the fact that the MK party is also supporting the initiative, and obviously there are regulations that still needs to be sorted. Thank you for inviting us to this beautiful event where you're launching the Spaza Shop Support Fund, and you are the project manager. What does this mean to the people out there with Spaza Shops?
So thank you so much for this interview, and thank you to all your viewers and listeners that are listening to us right now. Let's start by saying thank you to the ministers that made this possible, both Minister Stella Ndabeni and Minister Pakstau, the Mayor of Gauteng, the Premier. I mean, the government in Gauteng has really been honoring us in making sure that this event takes place. Today we are launching a fund, the Spaza Shop Fund, to make sure that Spaza Shops can now start operating at a level that their competitors are. What does that mean? It means that we are going to start helping them, making sure that they are economically able to buy at discounted amounts in bulk purchasing. We're making sure that we're going to assist them with training and making sure that they're compliant with the municipalities. We then also, more than that, with that, we're going to make sure they get funding. Anything from 40,000 all the way to 300,000.
Wow, that's a lot, and I'm glad that you've spoken about the issue of those that always wanted to get into the business of Spaza Shops, but the worry was always the bulk funding, because that has always been a challenge. The question is, how are you going to help them do that bulk funding? Are they going to do it as individuals or as a group of Spaza Shops?
So fortunately, we've gone and entered into agreements with our delivery channel partners, where they have already have this line of communication or liaison contracts with wholesalers and manufacturers. So they don't have to worry about that. We've made that agreement on their behalf. We're going to channel them as soon as we give them the funding to those delivery channel partners. We call them DCPs, and that's how they already qualify for discounted amounts.
So how are you going to be choosing the people that you're supposed to be funding? Are they going to still reapply again, or are you just going to look at those that have already registered and just split the money amongst them?
The application that they did previously would have been with the municipalities. So that was not an application for funding. For you to qualify for the fund, you need to visit our website at www.spazashopfund.co.za. You can also call our call center, which is 011-305-8080. So that's 8080 at the end. That's basically us coming to you saying that you need to apply on our portal, and if you're unable to do so, call our call center. We'll be able to assist you with that application. You can also visit your nearest CEDA offices. They'll also be able to give you assistance with your application, and from there we'll take it forward. But for you to qualify, maybe let's speak about that. For you to qualify is that you need to have your business license, you need to be a South African, and your business also needs to be South African.
Yeah, you're talking about a business license. Let's say you are in the line of business that I'm in. What's a business license there? If I'm registered with CIPC and I want to start my own Spaza shop, but I don't have a license, what's a license?
So when the president called late last year that Spaza shops must register, he was asking that they register with municipalities. What they get from the municipality, what we call a business license, that's a license that enables you to operate as a Spaza shop.
South Africa has, developed so much that you find a person like me living in Midrand, but I need to have a Spaza shop. Am I allowed? Because they say township. So is Midrand called a township?
So for the first round of the fund, what we are looking into is township and rural only. So for you to then qualify over and above the criteria that are provided is that for now you need to be in the township area or in the rural area.
And what would you call an area like Midrand?
Depends.
There's too many flats there, by the way.
That is urban.
Most my urban areas, guys, tough luck. But for all those that are in the townships, we say to them, congratulations. Finally, the government has listened. But there's an issue of fronting. What if somebody fronts for another business that's owned by somebody that's not living in the townships?
I'm hoping that they're not going to apply because we do have measures. We've got a system that's going to verify that the company you're saying you own, we're going to verify that with CIPC. We're going to verify you with the Department of Home Affairs. And then we're also going to come to your store to actually do a physical verification of the site before we give you the funding. So the level of fronting will be reduced.
Let's say I have a Spaza shop and I'm desperate to have this money and you've just launched today. Where to from us, from here for us?
Where to from here? Visit our website. It should be live currently. It's www.spazashopfund.co.za.
Good day one more time, and we're still here at the Spaza Shop Support Fund launch, and I'm standing next to DDG for Enterprise, Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Sawubona. Sisiqinisile Delwa.
Yes.
I had to make sure I say Delwa.
Delwa.
Oh, Delwa. I've been trying for the last 5 minutes.
No problem. No problem.
Sawubona one more time. And what does this launch mean to you as a DDG of the department responsible?
Well, I think it's a step to deal with the issue that all the South Africans know. We have been having a crisis in the township, seeing them in the Spaza shops, which is a great opportunity for us as the Department of Small Business, because then there is access to the market for also our small manufacturers.
You've mentioned something that the minister had to stress on stage, that it's small business and development for a reason, and I can see the role that you're playing for development.
Yes, no, definitely. I think it's because the department was really established because there is an appreciation that entrepreneurship or ideas alone, without the support to develop them, was not taking us forward. So the department is really about making sure that those who have entrepreneurial ambitions or business ideas are given the right support so that they develop into businesses. Yes.
So it's good you're looking at Spaza shops, and I'm sitting somewhere there saying that I'm a businessman. I also want to achieve certain things. Will this fund go beyond that, or do you have other separate funds that cater for those that are just aspiring business people?
Yes, we have different types of funds, especially I'll speak to the Small Enterprise Development and Finance Agency.
Where would they go to? Where should they go to in order to access these funds or try and at least apply?
Okay, so I know young people, they use the internet a lot. So if they go to look for the SETFA, www.setfa.gov.za, that's the agency, they can find. But we do also have offices across the country. It's what was formerly known as CEDA or CIFA, because those two institutions have been merged. You can walk in there and say, I need support with the business. But also the department itself, you can reach out to us, the Department of Small Business, dsbd.gov.za. Also through us, you can have access to advice and to the expertise that can help you depending on what stage you are in your entrepreneurial journey. We are keen for young people who are interested to start businesses to work with them. So they are welcome.
There were a lot of Spaza shop owners today, and what would be your message to them? And I'm sure when you advertised this, you thought it was going to be a small number, and I can see the number was 3 times what you guys expected, and some of them couldn't make it inside. So what would be your message to them?
Well, I think we did know after the registration process that there are a lot of them, and we know that the fund is not enough. But we are very happy with the showing today, demonstrating that there is a need out there, so that when we go and knock to other partners to add more funds into this fund, at least they will have evidence to know that there is hunger out there for this type of support. So we are really encouraged. We know we won't reach everyone, but we will try our best to make sure that we mobilize additional funds. You heard the MEC of Gauteng. He's already committed to Gauteng doing a little bit. There are others, including the private sector, who are willing to partner with us. So we are hoping for the fund to grow, because we really want our Spaza shops to be the backbone of local economic development, but also for them to provide products that are safe for our communities. So we are committed to the fund.
What a beautiful interview, DDG, and we're going to challenge you from Lifestyle League that would like to have a 1 hour sit down, because I have a lot of questions, because I stem from a position of being just a normal citizen, a position of a business person, and a position of somebody that presents and talk to people like you, and we would appreciate if you make it possible for you to come to our interviews, and it can happen anytime this year or next year. We are not in a hurry, but we would appreciate that.
We will be very willing to come and talk to you about all our programs and the work we are trying to do. So anytime I'm available for that.
I'm standing next to people from Save Land, Bob Landa. Landa. Yo, such a beautiful name. Landa and Sisnom Sasanmonen.
Yebo ninjani?
Sawubona futhi kunjani?
Sikhona ninjani?
Siyaphila nathi.
Save Land, what do you want here?
Save Land is part and parcel of this program, because Save Land yiyo esupporta ama-Spaza, more especially in Soweto. It's a banner group under the Devlin group that has always been there for the past, I think, almost more than 8 to 10 years. You support Spaza in terms of branding, giving them good pricing to compete with the other stores and other competitors. It's been there to support Spazas in terms of growth and development, training them how to run their businesses financially, yes, and all.
Sisnom, sir, tell me, he says it's been here, it's been supporting people. What are the challenges of the role that you are playing?
I would say because sebenza ngama-shop, I'll speak isiZulu. Sebenza ngama-shop, so ama-challenges esiwabonayo thina every now and then, ama-shop, especially our black shops, they can't abakhona ukumanager i-financial, ama-finances.
That's the reason I asked. Yes, ne? Ngithele yena ngiyisa kuSisnom, because I'm trying to find out ukuthi Save Land cannot just be doing well. There are challenges out there, and sometimes people struggle to ukusebenzisa imali zabo kahle. And what is it that you guys are doing to help them?
One, we are working with suppliers, as we are from Devlin Cash and Care. So we are trying to help, like, train them how they must use the stock and all that. The journalists.
All right. Baba, Save Land is here. The support fund is here. Where to from here in terms of the partnership that you've always had with Spaza Shops?
The partnership will definitely grow. And we're going to make sure that we support our Spazas in terms of applying for the fund, and we don't stop there. We support them in terms of making sure they get the right stock that is going to sell in their stores, the right pricing, so that they are able to compete and sell, and obviously make good margins, so that they can now make a living out of this. We don't stop there. We support them till they get the stock at their doorsteps. So all the logistics, the supply chain, we are involved up until, so that we ensure we give them peace of mind. They will have to, we will have to support them from the beginning till the end. And in terms of training, as Usisnom said, they are well trained, they know how to manage the stock, they know how to manage the money, so that bazokwazi ukukhula and tomorrow sibabone at a different space and at a different level, because we don't want people to just keep on being fed and kungabi na growth next year siphinde sibuye sibe lana saying the same thing but no change. So yes, that's our commitment, Tina, as we have been doing it for the past couple of years.
Competition is high out there. There are other wholesalers, there are other people doing what you are doing. How do you plan on sustaining?
Definitely. Hence, I said on my previous answer is that, Tina, what we do is that our other wholesaler, I don't think bayenza leyo nto. Tina, we provide support.
Deliver nje.
Yeah, from pricing,
or apply
from pricing. We ensure ukuthi sibaprintela ama-pamphlets in their stores, siba-delivele lawo ma-pamphlets so that ama-customer wabo mawezothenga bathola kune-pricing nezi-specials siyabenzela. So i-support yethu thina is very strong, so it's, compared to our competitors. So thina we make sure ukuthi these Spaza shops become part of our family. So a supporter from the beginning to the end. Compared to our wholesalers.
Uyabona ukuthi ngibonile niyasiza ukuthi siapply, niyasiza ukuthi sithole ama-delivery, niyasiza ngale education kaSisi Nomtha. I know, nihamba phambili. Siyabonga. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course, we do pay tribute to ET, your ET as people of Soweto, whom already Minister Parks has spoken about, from being an informal trader, a bus driver, abandoned all. Instead, I'm going to focus on building my own business. And because of the support of this community, indeed he grew, and he became what this building and the business is today. I also want to congratulate the Chabalala family, because most of the times, Minister Parks, when founders of businesses die, especially black businesses, when they die, the business dies with them. But at least we get to appreciate that this family did not allow that, which is something that we really congratulate. In recognizing their challenges, they make sure that they create in order to revive the iconic site and reimagine the site into a full retail and entertainment complex that it is. And once again, this is what we would want to see happening in our country. Reclaiming our township and rural businesses, starting with the old businesses that are found in our streets. Others are being occupied by illegal foreigners, others are occupied by people who sit there in order to rape or be able to conduct any criminal activity against the locals that are meant to benefit from those businesses. My goodness, I didn't acknowledge the members of parliament. My budget will not be passed. The chairperson and the whip of the Portfolio Committee of Small Business Development, Honorable Toby Chance, also of Trade Industry, the Portfolio of Trade Industry. I can't forget you. I need this budget. Colleagues, you must know, as you're seated here, this 500 million will be the last of it. So I really need to acknowledge those important people that make your life easy by creating an enabling environment through utilization of the legislation that requires not only their thinking, but also their decision in transforming the society that we're talking about. MEC Maile says there's 3 things that are very critical that they want to focus on as we revive and develop the township and rural economy. At the center of ensuring that the consumption that is being driven is ensuring that we also invest more on production. We are launching the 500 million today. Where does the food come from? If we are saying we are going to be providing so much for stock, who are the producers of that stock? If we are saying we are putting another element of the fund in ensuring that we assist those Spaza shops that are not able to meet certain requirements.
We are still in Soweto at the Spaza Shop Support Fund launch, and I'm standing next to Princess Mujapelo. Sabona sisi sa dumela kai.
Kitele kai.
Rete. You know, when I started, I said someone and said Mujapi, look at You come from Carnival Biscuits, and I'm thinking to myself, Carnival Biscuits, is that a Spaza shop or what?
So Carnival Biscuits is a manufacturing company. We specialize in confectionaries, particularly biscuits, cakes, for events, individuals, households, and for Soweto at large.
Would you classify yourself as a Spaza shop?
I'd classify us as maybe suppliers of the products Spaza shops can sell to their customers. Yeah.
Oh, so nina nifuna sidla ama-biscuits.
Oh, always. I mean, it's Carnival Biscuits. We love biscuits, and so we want the whole of South Africa to love biscuits too. Yeah.
What differentiates you from other business companies?
So what differentiates us is, number one, we're very youth involved. We've got at least 70% of our employees that are young people. We are community focused, community centric, so that means we answer to the calls of the people that surround us. That's including Deep Blue, Orlando, and the majority of Soweto. We answer to their needs for efficient and convenient around us, making sure that they get the products, quality products at the best prices.
What does this support fund launch mean to you?
Well, this launch is something really big. I think it's showing the support of government to prioritize black entrepreneurs, black-owned businesses, as well as black communities. It definitely opportunities for us, whereas we can now supply more people, particularly our black-owned Spaza shops. We're saying we're here to support, we're here to enlarge and as well as to contain the value chain. We want to bring back that value to black South Africans and back to South Africa. So it's a really big opportunity for us.
As Carnival Biscuits, what would you like to say to all the supporters of your company and Spaza shops?
I'd like to say this is our time. Let us make use of all the instruments that the government is handing to us. Let us prepare ourselves. Let's be compliant so that we're able to also participate well. And let's take over. Let's take over. Yes.
Good luck and congratulations on the beautiful business.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.